Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between Dark versus Takulla. This game taking place here on, well, making sure I'm muted, taking place here on Northern Isle. This is from what, Warcraft League season, Warcraft 3 League season 18, I believe Division 2B. As we are looking at Dark spawning over here as the red undead over here on the top right hand side of the map, saying over here twice for no real reason. Meanwhile, over here, three times. Why do I keep on? I do say over here a lot. You guys are right. In the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have Takulla spawning as the green orc, under the name Escanor, Escanor. Hmm. Anyways, don't know quite how to pronounce that, but it is going to be Takulla Orc versus Undead in this 1v1 matchup. Hello, hope you're doing great. I am doing absolutely fine. As we're looking at the Ultra of Storms being completed, and we are looking at, it's going to be a Blade Master or Farseer. Farseer first coming out, going up against, well, it looks as though it is going to be waiting for the Ziggurat. A little bit delayed there. I'm waiting for the Ziggurat now, and it is going to be a Crypt Lord. All right, Crypt Lord ghouls out a little bit sooner to try and get a lot more lumber. Crypt Lord now being trained, as we should be looking at perhaps a fast expansion attempt from Dark. Coming in, is this like, is that Darkness Dark? Um, I'll have to check. I don't know. Anyways, as things are getting underway, Crypt Lord first alongside Ghoul, we are already getting up a Nerubian tower. And I am curious about this. It looks like it is going to be a fast expansion attempt. Are we going to unsummon up to this Ziggurat to get a little bit more gold, get that sacrificial skull out, and then bring an army out across the map? Farseer is already ready to go in play as we see, what is this? A second barracks. A proxy or ninja barracks being stealthily hidden off to the north. And we are looking at a war mill, so we are going to be going into double headhunter production already. At first, I thought it was going to be a very fast tech to tier 2, as it was opening up with an Ultra of Storms and an Orc Burrow. I took a look away for a minute, come back, and quickly see, well, what do I see? I see a double barrack strategy coming across. Now, the Nerubian tower is already up, and that is going to zone out. That's going to zone out Takulla from being able to do far too much harassment, as Dark is now just creeping. He is not looking to set up an expansion, though, interestingly enough, and, well, he is going for Impale first. I am completely baffled and confused at the current strategy. Normally, Crypt Lord goes for, Beetles first, is able to creep out very quickly, build up that army, and then move away. Meanwhile, we are looking at, well, it looks like Spirit Wolves were destroyed. Something happened inside their ping. A little bit of an issue there, as we are now perhaps going to be transitioning into more bugs and getting that graveyard. The Nerubian tower is already up, and, well, we're looking at now the Crypt Lord wanting to get to, well, those beetles. Going to be trying to finish off the Flesh Eaters, and these Murloc Huntsmen should be able to do exactly that. And now beetles should be popping up out of the ground. If we see the armored upgrade, I would be absolutely dumbfounded, as that Crypt Lord would be very tanky, as he would need to be tanky since there are not a bunch of, well, beetles there to absorb a lot of that damage either. I lost a Crypt Lord today to a Crypt Lord versus player was so... Yeah, there are very toxic players in every game. Unfortunately, that just seems to be, well, the truth of every single game out there. Generally, as the games get a little bit more difficult and not as approachable, then the toxic players tend to go down a bit. It is, I generally find toxic players are the players who feel as though they should be playing above their level, or above their pay grade, so to speak. They think that they should be professional players and constantly just make excuses in why they're constantly losing. The toxicity in my city, like art. No, like, I don't think. Okay, never mind. There's also character involved, right? So there is that as well. Metaphysics, you're trying to get me in trouble today. I don't know what's going on with you. Crypt Lord coming back on out here. Gonna go ahead and summon up some more skeletal warriors. We are getting up a acolyte across here. Are we getting a sacrificial skull? No, we are not. As we're looking back here at the Crypt Lord trying to clear things up absolutely here. Meanwhile, back on the other side, we are going into mass headhunters. And even though, well, we are finally also getting into a single beetle for this scout here. And based on this information, if Dark doesn't spot this second group of headhunters, well, he may think that it is only a single barracks. And look at this, Takulla purposely separating his headhunters as well to keep the story going. He is telling the story that, hey, I'm only training off of one barracks, purposely splitting his group of headhunters in half. And then by doing exactly that, well, he may be able to catch his opponent off guard. All right, that is a lot of beetles. That is some crypt fiends, and this could be bad timing indeed. Escanar going to go ahead and take a boulder right there, take that stun as damage now adding up. Farsi are going to be able to get up to level 3 here, but maybe forced to back up here. Or Frost Armor not nearly as effective against this ranged army here, but he has to be very careful. There is a little bit more damage, and now there is that crystal ball being used. What is going on down here? Are we going to see a Scroll of Town Portal? A lot of damage being added. Orc Burrows now trying to get under a bit of repair. As we can see, the Crypt Fiends are going to town on these burrows. One burrow already down. Now looking for more to get taken out as well. Voodoo Lounge taking a little bit of damage. In comes the Scroll of Town Portal as we see an expansion coming into play. One Headhunter coming down, and here we are, a large army, a massive Impale. Endurance Ore now being added as we're going to see Chain Lightning bounce around as well. Healing Salve was picked up in time. Are we going to see another Wand of Mana Stealing as we're looking at another Impale trying to pick things up? But I believe the army is just far larger than he would have expected it to be, as unit after unit is going to end up going down here. All right. Two beetles are going to end up getting finished off by this Spirit Wolf here. Well, there it goes. There's that critical strike. Units pushing back the other way. And now Dark must be surprised at what was happening. 19 workers. A lot of those not actually a lot of those workers were taken out. Let's take a look. No, Barracks is not training up anything here. Barracks not training up anything here. An Orc Burrow was lost. That's why he was maxed out on supply. 5 additional headhunters were perhaps in play. Coming back off to the north here. Oh, timing on this absolutely key and critical. Finding his opponent's expansion before any real mining is getting underway. Death Knight, however, joining in on the battle too. Endurance Aura should be able to help quite a bit. Meanwhile, Spirit Wolves going straight to town after those Crypt Fiends, as the Death Knight will need to try and heal up between multiple targets. This does end up becoming a problem. Wand of Mana Stealing already used there. There's a Death Blow to try and go for the save here, as the Farseer going to continue to add up more damage. The Obsidian Statue should be able to neutralize this pressure. 38 supply compared to 31. Level 4 now on the Farseer, and in comes the Murlocs with an ensnare. All right, that's a big deal indeed, trying to go after those units. Another Chain Lightning bouncing around. There's a Death Coil for the save again, as the Farseer can't try to decide on who they should be trying to attack. Headhunter range is a little bit low here. Faster attack speed than normal. There goes a ghoul, as the Ziggurat could end up getting taken out. A lot of ghouls could here be lost. And like Yoda, I talk sometimes, as we're looking at ghouls ending up getting taken out. All right, Ziggurat is now completed, as we're going to be looking at some headhunters being pressured here. Well, Acolyte with that very, very fast regeneration while on Blight, very difficult to take out. There goes another Acolyte once more, as that Nerubian tower is nearly done. Burrow Rush, long time no see. Coming back through here, we are looking at an expansion nearly done by Takulla. Takulla, well, really just changing things up here, and it looks like Dark is the one playing in the dark. He's the one that's constantly been surprised. Farseer now sitting at level 4. Is he going to be picking up Potion of Healing and a Scroll of Healing and Potion of Lesser Invulnerability? Units now trying to retreat back here, but the one Obsidian statue in the back has been keeping this army alive very, very well. Obsidian statue with a lot of mana right there, 600 mana. I don't know how else to make Obsidian statues a little bit more balanced. Straight out of the gate, they have 600 mana. That just seems like such a large amount indeed. Maybe they should have start with 400 and then upgrade to 6. I don't know. having to deal with one obsidian statue right out of the gate is just rather scary, as we're looking at the Tauren Chieftain going for Stomp first. And why not? Because there is already Endurance Aura. Obsidian statues equals healing well and mana well. Yep, Crota the goat. Nope, not. Don't want to even get myself started in that comparison story. But thank you. It's an honor to even be considered into that spot. All right, coming back through, we are looking at the Tauren Chieftain with plenty of healing items. And what is this vampiric aura on the Farseer? Even though the Tauren Chieftain is probably the one that needs it most, are we going to perhaps get some damage here? Nope. As the Pit Lord now backs away. Pit Lord with Howl of Terror first. Howl of Terror. We should be transitioning into a bit of, abominations. I was going to be saying, I thought we were going to be getting into perhaps at least one or two destroyer forms to try and eat up a little bit of that damage. But with the Headhunters just still the only unit being trained up and no tech to tier 3, we are not going into Berserkers. Oddly, that is an extremely odd opening here as the Obsidian statues, and there goes the Chain Lightning. Are we going to see a Stomp? There goes the Stomp. Death Coil is going to be in time, and all of this creep jack only to, finish off the remaining creeps here while taking down one Crypt Fiend. So a small advantage right there. Farseer now sitting at level 4, and the Tauren Chieftain now almost at level 1. All right. Lich Boy was benched. Yeah, no Lich, no Orb of Corruption. And with that, that really reduces how strong how strong the Crypt Fiends are. Tauren Chieftain now trying to go straight after the Magnetar Reaver. Are we perhaps going to be looking at, no, Dark not, Dark looking to see what's going on here, trying to figure out where his opponent is, doesn't realize he could have had a potential creep jack, giving precious time to the Tauren Chieftain and the Farseer to get some levels. All right, Ogre Magi going to get taken down. Tauren Chieftain having now Unholy Aura and Endurance Aura working together, and they will be able to move around fairly fast. All right. Skeletal minions making their way down to the south here, but the ninja expansion is over here on the top left. Once more, a ninja expansion can make one of these players assume the wrong things about the state of the game. And when he assumes the wrong things, well, he's going to just, no, I can't really use the assume when you assume story, because, well, Takulla is just going to be in a better spot. If you assume what your partner, you know what your opponent is doing, you just make bad choices. As a quick Stomp now comes into play. Abomination, Death Coil, Impale, a Scroll of Protection, all being used across the board here. Tauren Chieftain, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, has a second Stomp coming into play as well. Units trying to back away, as well as the Headhunters with only 375 hit points, taking a lot more damage than you would have expected here. Cryptlord finally getting up to level 4. Scroll of Healing being used up there. Are we going to see another Impale, as the Cryptlord still has plenty of items? Spirit Wolves, the level 5 Shadow variety, a very big deal here. Healing Salve, Tauren Chieftain, yes, uses that Health Stone and not trying to back away. Unholy Aura is definitely going to try and help, as the Pit Lord, Tauren Chieftain going to get taken down finally. 50 supply compared to 45. Tauren Chieftain falls at level 2, and I believe the Tauren Chieftain, or the Farseer, still has Endurance Aura, so that is, still in the play here. Howl of Terror coming back around. Ghouls could get taken out. Farseer, and you're trying to retreat back here. What is going on here as the Headhunters retreat back from a lone Abomination? All right, Farseer trying to head back here. 46 supply compared to 49. And even with all the surprise antics, Takulla losing this engagement against Dark. Level 2 now on that Pit Lord. The question then becomes, are the items going to be better for the Farseer? Endurance Aura, Scourge, Bone Chimes. We don't see. We are going into Spirit Walkers as well. Fortress finally down, and are we getting the Berserker upgrade? No, lumber. Is there? Where is that? Yeah, Goblin Laboratory is right there. You need to get enough lumber. Takulla sitting on 1,300 gold, but no lumber, so can't really pay for the necessary upgrades that he wants. Can just buy more items. Coming back across here, 51 supply. We're looking 51 supply compared to 56. Tauren Totem, getting a little bit more lumber, training up more Headhunters. Should really consider the Berserker upgrade instead at this point and stage in the game. And also maybe even get that Troll regeneration to try and offset a bit of that disease cloud. All right, in comes the armies here. Tauren Chieftain in that front line spot. There goes an Impale. Units are fighting behind these barricades, but these barricades offer little to no protection as we're looking at the Abominations actually just hanging around in the backside. Okay, I take it back. Chain Lightning still bouncing around here. Tauren Chieftain and the Abominations unable to really get the damage onto those Headhunters in that back location here. 2-0 upgrade. Scroll of Protection once again being used. We see another Impale being picked up and dropped back down. Tauren Chieftain with Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, but that is going to be coming to an end. Death Knight, Deathwell trying to get in some more saves. No, not a save. Complete death of a Spirit Walker there. Chain Lightning, are we going to see the Abomination finally get taken down? And no, it is not. Beautiful micro by Dark being able to save those lower hit point units, but the Spirit Wolves have their eyes on the prize, and well, one more shot could do it. All right, Taurens are now turning back around. There goes one Abomination. Another Abomination could fall down. Tauren Chieftain does have enough, or will have enough mana for another Stomp. Sitting at level 3, he's taking out the barricades. Not quite sure why or what he is attacking here as Dark's Abomination down to 174 hit points, down to dead, as we are now seeing some Pulverize being thrown back into the action. All right, a second Abomination going to be lost here. Death Knight, Death Coil maybe a little bit late. Yes. Wow, I wasn't sure if it was going to be yes or no. That was a real split second, a tenth of a difference right there, as Takulla overcoming the lag and being able to take down the Abominations that Dark has pretty much been feeding to him throughout this match. All right, 52 supply compared to 58. Takulla continuing this training, or this chase here. Berserkers with slow attack speeds, no Bloodlust, no Berserker Rage as of yet. Damage could get added in, and there's a reveal, and there goes another Abomination as well. Dark now falling apart at the seams and just slowly getting torn apart here as the Crypt Lord trying to get away. All right, it looks as though the follow-up is going to end up falling apart. The Berserkers with that faster attack speed plus unholy aura plus endurance aura were able to easily catch up to their opponent. Takulla now sitting on a 65 supply advantage. We need to see a bit of healing though. It's like playing in slow-mo. Both sides complaining about the lag that they are experiencing. So sometimes lag makes for good stories, as we are looking at, well, a Tauren and Pulverize being trained up at one, while the other Tauren Totem is doing nothing. All right, crazy battle indeed. I don't know about this Pit Lord without AoE 2 versus Berserkers. Yeah, basically Howl of Terror, no Lich. A Lich Orb of Corruption increases the effectiveness of the Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiends with their well, high damage, very slow attack speed, able to get in a lot of damage across the board. Let's take a look at the Berserkers. Berserkers have a slow attack speed, 25 to 37 damage, a little less hit points than the Crypt Fiends, but only taking 2 supply, as we should be going into engagement there. Impale coming across the board here. Taurens could be in trouble. 3 Taurens right there. Spirit Wolves already out onto the battlefield. Are we going to cause a little bit of traffic? Well, Unholy Frenzy onto the Pit Lord, as the Berserkers are just poking apart now. There goes another Impale across the board, as we could be losing some Taurens as well. All right, it's a bad day to be a tier 3 unit apparently, as the Farseer looks like, oh, there's a Potion of Healing trying to get some damage across there. There's a Stomp, and the Pit Lord gets taken down. Orb of Corruption going with it. All right, saying hi. Wow, both players just taunting each other, or as looks like Takulla taunting his opponent right now. Healing Salve onto a Tauren. That Tauren perhaps should be hanging back, trying to heal up a little bit more, as the Tauren Chieftain now leading the charge here. Should be getting level 2 Endurance Aura in just a moment. All right, that Tauren looking to back away again. Headhunter is going to be trying to line things up. Taurens need to get up into that front line spot. There is a massive Impale once more, as the Necromancers could, well, set up a standing and prop-up army here in just a little bit. We need to see perhaps some meat wagons joining in on the battle, as the Tauren Chieftain leaves a goodbye stomp. All right, Necromancer's Unholy Frenzy. One Tauren trying to back away here. This gold mine only has, what, about 7 minutes of mining left. This one has a little bit more, about 6, or what, 8? Well, a little bit less than 8, a little bit less than 7. Ghouls now retreating back here. Shadow Wolves going to try and make their way through, try to sneak on by. What is going on here, as the Ghouls just wondering where the expansion is. Esconar should consider picking up a tiny Great Hall and setting up the expansion off over here to the side. Does he have it? Nope, he does not, as the Farseer is sitting at level 5. A little bit more healing salves being handed out across the board as well. Orc needs, yeah, Well, normally going with a third hero against undead this late in the game is not a good idea. But this is not your typical undead game. There is no lich, so the amount of firepower in this undead army in hero nuking has dropped off significantly. So a third hero may actually be possible. If it's a shadow hunter who can heal himself as well, that could work, as he doesn't have to dodge any frost novas. All right. Berserkers, 2-0 upgrades. No tiny great hall, 77 supply compared to 70. Dark now wandering on in. We're going to be looking at an impale. No impale. There's the impale. As only 3 units getting impaled right there. Farsi are going to try and engage. Now going to go for some Devour Magic. And here we are. Howl of Terror Stomp. Tauren Chieftain completely surrounded. Chain Lightning bouncing around there. Not that much damage as another Impale now coming back across. Death Coil trying to save. Tauren Chieftain could be in a little bit of trouble. Trying to run away into that back line spot. Gets up to level 4 as Abominations are going to be falling. 72 supply compared to 69. Tauren Chieftain throws down another Stomp once again. The Abominations with that Pulverized, but not going after those Crypt Fiends, as the Crypt Fiends are now turning around trying to fight back onto those Spirit Wolves in the back here. Tauren Chieftain finally using that Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Farseer getting up to level 6. We are getting up an expansion, building up the expansion right as your opponent is right there. Interesting call here as the Death Knight, well, gets a Death Coil to save the Pit Lord and now needs to retreat down to 150 mana. Death Knight needs to retreat back, is going to be able to heal up a little bit more, perhaps get another Death Coil, as we are now looking at more skeletal minions and mages joining in on the battle. All right, some disenchant coming back across the board. Expansion being canceled out. Tauren Chieftain running through the woods to try and be saved. Two headhunters and a Tauren lost right there, as Takulla, even with his hidden expansion, losing to Dark's army now. Units trying to retreat back. Farseer sitting at level 6, perhaps should have gone for level 3 Chain Lightning, as he's been using Chain Lightning pretty aggressively throughout this battle, but hasn't really gotten the bounce kills that you normally expect. 62 supply compared to 32. More Crypt Fiends reinforcing, and this may be the beginning of the end. All right. Takulla looking to regroup here. Meanwhile, the Farseer, there is a... Well, no, never mind. This is another way to change things up. Here is Earthquake. There is some repairs. Damage is being done. Earthquake doesn't deal nearly as maximum damage as it does against what I would say... What am I saying? I am saying Death and Decay. Death and Decay automatically can kill the building. Farseer is right there nearby. Unit's going to be trying to get away. Farseer is still caught out in the middle of the battlefield. Scroll of Speed trying to get away here. We're going to see a Devour Magic as the Farseer finally finds himself no longer becoming Speedy Gonzalez. Spirit Wolves trying to help to stop the surround, as the Spirit Wolf trying to shake free right there. Double backing around. Farseer is in trouble. Where is he going to try and go next? Potion of Healing used next here. We could go for... Nope. Body block by the Obsidian statue, trying to micro through this situation. Always very difficult, as the Farseer most likely looks like it will end up getting taken down. All right, getting taken down. Tauren Chieftain is here instead to try and shut things off on the other side. The Spirit Walker now looking to back away. Battle Wolves, well, not doing that much. All right, it was... Dark should say hi. Yeah, Dark should say higher. This is just a bit of a back and forth. Nice ping. Both when they do well, when their opponent does well, they say they had nice ping. When they lose, they have bad ping. Yeah, Earthquake was completely, absolutely useless in that scenario. One Ziggurat taken out. That was it. The Acolytes were there for the repairs, and we are still mining a bit of gold. Coming back around here, Farseer resurrected at the tavern. We're looking at more items getting picked up. Tauren Chieftain wanting that Mantle of Intelligence, getting up to 110 some odd mana, as peons are now doing long distance mining. All right, long distance mining and another hidden expansion, except there's an Acolyte there that does spot this all. All right, Destroyers, Goblin Shredder now trying to retreat back. Dark looking, sees this gold mine at 700 gold and go, I see what you did here. I see. Abominations gonna come across. Goblin Shredder now quickly taking down Tauren Chieftain, coming in along the backside. Oh, this is a bad spot for the Undead to be in. Does he have a get out of jail free card? Crypt Lord does have a Scroll of Town Portal, as damage could add up. Cleave, Howl of Terror being used all across the board. Death Knight needs to find a way to stay alive. Death Knight now down to 151 hit points, trying to retreat back to the Obsidian Statue. The Berserkers are there looking for the kill as we're looking at level 6 on the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord, however, low on mana. Death Knight about to get taken down, and with the Death Knight down, well, that means all of the other units can end up getting taken down as well. Tauren Chieftain sitting up at level 5. We could have level 3 Stomp here in just a moment. There it goes, level 3 Stomp, and all of a sudden, Crypt Fiends are now falling all over the place as Takulla starts to take the lead. Crypt Fiends, are they going to end up falling? Destroyers trying to finish off some of those Spirit Wolves, and this turnaround is just absolutely through the roof. Tauren Chieftain, even if he falls, the damage has been done as we see level 5 now on that Pit Lord. All right, Farseer is going to finish off the Crypt Lord. What did I say about level 3 Chain Lightning being better than Scroll of Town Portal at this stage? I believe I mentioned it. 47 supply compared to 37, as the level 3 Chain Lightning could have perhaps, well, done a bit more damage preventing the escape from that Crypt Lord. Crazy back and forth game. Apparently, whoever has more lag. Yeah, my ping looks amazing. Yeah, both players commenting about ping. If both players have 300 ping, then yeah, like equal player, they have similar handicaps, right? If one player has like 30 ping and the other player has 150, then that's a bigger difference. But that's just where I'll leave it at. All right, Farseer right here, finally going to get to level 7, finally have access to Chain Lightning level 3. Acolyte's going to end up getting taken down here. One Spirit Wolf, well, falling slowly but surely as we're looking at that damage continuing to add up. Spirit Wolf going to try and finish off these Acolytes here. Acolytes, oh, look at that, how strong they are fighting. When they are on Blight, there goes another unit there as multiple Acolytes have been taken out. All right, Gold Mine off to the north has been lost. Farseer, no, absolutely no Tiny Great Hall, no expansion here. Army Major in the center. Here, no access to healing as the peons are now going to try to do a little bit of long distance mining. This gold mine only, 20 seconds of mining left as Dark is going to take this corner expansion now. 53 supply compared to Dark's 59. Dark has the larger army and more workers for Takulla. Not necessarily how you want to be winning this game right now, but with that said, Spirit Walkers with mana, well, allowing Takulla to get back Taurens, that is going to be a big deal. If you can save your Taurens constantly like this, that is a way to get back gold. The most direct way, or the second most direct way of getting mana and converting that to gold. The most direct way is perhaps Goblin Alchemist's ultimate ability. Mana to gold, very obvious in that situation. Level 3 Chain Lightning better than Earthquake is what I meant, Collywog. Not at that stage. If it's an end game scenario and you're racing to take down buildings, then I can see Earthquake being the better call. But if you are in the middle of the fight and you have large drawn out battles, I would say you want to go Chain Lightning more. We were seeing a lot of Chain Lightning being used against Crypt Fiends, and then having the Spirit Wolves with that critical strike follow up with a lot of damage. All right, there goes another building there. Black Citadel down to 1,700 hit points as it's going to retreat. Crota, do you think Farseer should have skill Chain Lightning at level 6? Because, yep, yeah, that's exactly what I meant. All right, Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 5, and that Earthquake that he didn't do very much, right? When you're choosing ultimate abilities, especially say the Lich and the Farseer, you need an accurate gauge of where you are in the game. Are you still fighting like long drawn out battles on the battlefield, or are you in a scenario where it's like perhaps a little bit more end game, gold is a little bit more sparse on the field, and you need to take down buildings? Normally against Night Elf, I would say going for Earthquake makes much more sense because of Moonwells. There's actually buildings that affect outcome on the battlefield. Farseer here, not or in a game like this where it's versus undead, Undead, you rarely actually fight in their base unless you can avoid it. And well, talking about a fight while the Great Hall is under construction, that is perhaps the worst possible time. Tauren Chieftain needs to dive on in. Here we are. Tauren Chieftain comes in with a stomp, and that level 5 stomp dealing so much damage. And what's going to be done here? Pulverize, completely dropping down everything as we are looking at the Locust Swarm dealing a lot of damage and while trying to heal up that Crypt Lord as well. Tauren Chieftain now out of mana. Will he be able to figure this out? 56 supply compared to 51. Obsidian statues are in the backside, getting absolutely destroyed as an Impale picks up. And while 2 Taurens could get taken down here, Tauren Chieftain going to get taken down. Tauren's getting back up again as they're getting taken down. So the resurrection is going to be complete, but the Tauren Chieftain has fallen at level 5. Farseer sitting at level 7 here. Death Coil saves once more as we're looking at perhaps a little bit of damage coming back across the board. One low hit point Necromancer apparently not realizing how close he is to death as the Farseer seems to be focused on other things. All right. Dark versus Takulla, a great and interesting game going back and forth. Takulla with the hidden ninja expansion in the top left-hand corner, but Dark still able to overcome it. No real home field advantage for Takulla in that battle. The Voodoo Lounge was a bit too far away. No burrows or watchtowers or anything of that nature either. And, well, also the tiny Great Hall, he should have prioritized that much earlier, because he didn't prioritize it earlier. He was suffering from long distance mining for quite a bit of time while Dark had established that bottom right hand map, right hand base. As soon as the tiny Great Hall could have started to pay for itself. Well, the pressure was already on, and it forced the fight for Takulla. Takulla needed to fight in that scenario because the tiny Great Hall was still under construction. While under construction, buildings don't have fortified armor, and that's precisely the time when undead armies that have a lot of Crypt Fiends want to attack. So, odd choice by Dark to go for Howl of Terror over a Lich, as without an Orb of Corruption, the Crypt Fiends weren't really dealing that much damage, but Takulla never really capitalized on the lack of a third nuking hero by trying to get a Shadow Hunter himself. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.